I can't wait. Do you ever read Third Door?
No.
Ooh, get the cameras rolling.
We're rolling.
You guys all need to read this fucking book. Get this shit on there.
The Third
Called
Door.
The Third Door by our boy Alex Banayan. And this guy literally was like 19-year-old at USC. He had no money and he came from like a Persian family that like wanted to be like a doctor or some shit.
Yeah.
And then last minute, he somehow finessed his way to get onto Price is Right. Had never seen the show, learned about the show while there, and then won by like the tiniest of margins. Got a boat, won a boat, sold the boat, and then for the next 5 years went everywhere to basically sit down with like top tier entrepreneurs, and the whole story is just about him going fucking savage mode and getting who did he get? Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Lady Gaga, and it's like a great story, but then it gives you like just same shit that we were talking about, just savagery, just finding a way to get in. He likens it to like a nightclub where it's like there's three types of people that wait in the line, then the people that go get the tables, and then the third door dish shit, where they just find a way to get it done. And his whole entire book is about how he finessed his way into getting shit done.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You guys should all read that shit. Third Door. Non-paid plug. And obviously we have your guys here, we have our guys here too. Why don't you just tell them like a little background, like where you grew up and everything. You know, what you told us. It sounds like a good story.
So I grew up in North Philadelphia, Puerto Rican. I mean, that's where everything started. I used to sell drugs. Then I joined the Army.
I love that you just come out and say that. That's good. You got it.
Yeah. And then 100%.
Yep.
Then joined the Army, went to Afghanistan for 9 months. I was in the infantry, so I didn't sit down behind a fucking desk and sharpen pencils or some shit. While doing that, on my way back, I figured out how to find mentors on Instagram. Then came home, started running a media agency ever since.
Like, where did you get, like, from an intelligence standpoint, like, obviously you're street smart, but like, all of this stuff, were you reading books? Was it just literally from the streets? Like,
it's all from the streets. I don't read as much people would think I read at all. I probably read maybe 5-6 books in my entire life. I mean, aside from like elementary school and school fucking like books just on my own self-development wise, maybe 5-6 books.
Was it like a tough upbringing? Like, was it a crime? Like, did you come from like the streets?
Yeah.
Also, it was like that. That makes sense.
Like actual streets, not like fucking. I curse a lot, just.
So do I.
But
hey, there we go.
Yeah, I mean it was alright. It could have been worse.
Were you forced into the situation to the Army? Was that like your way out? Like, why did you do that?
So there's not many people you can trust when you're in the streets, right? So or just in life in general, but even worse when you're in the streets. And my brother and I were selling drugs for a bit. He got locked up. The house got raided early in the morning, a few hours before or a few hours after I had left to go check up on my family because someone tried to kill my little sisters by setting the front door and back door on fire. So I left the house at like 1-2 in the morning, P.
Is that your brother?
Yeah, that's my brother.
What's up, bro? Wow.
And a few hours after that.
Can you slow this down real quick? You're just like casually talking about some crazy shit right now. So people tried to light the house on fire?
My little sister's ex-boyfriend lit the house on fire, the front door and the back door. And my parents came home at like, because me and my brother lived together, so I wasn't at the house. My parents came home probably at like midnight or something. Saw the house on fire. My stepdad kicked in the door, ran upstairs, the back door, ran upstairs and turned off the fire, called the cops, called the fire department, whatever. My mom had called me at like 1-2 in the morning while the cops were there. I left my brother and I's place, went up there to check up on my sisters, make sure my mom was okay. Then I went looking for the guy, didn't find him, and then stayed at my mom's house. It was probably like 2-3 in the morning when I was done. So I decided to just stay there instead of going to my morning shift. And then I guess like 8-9 a.m. they raided the house, locked my brother up. He was locked up for 7 years. Just got out recently. And when he got locked up, I was done. I was like, all right, well, there's no one else I can trust. No one here to really show me what to do. Because the last person I trusted,
how old were you when this happened?
I was like 17, 18. The last person I trusted to show me something almost got me killed because I tried to take over someone's block. It didn't really work out the way I anticipated it. So So I was like, all right, fuck it, well, what's left? I didn't go to school much because I stopped going to school to sell drugs to make money. We're making me personally, I was making pretty decent money every day before like lunchtime. So I was like, why the fuck am I going to school when I can just make this money and do whatever? And I was 17, I was enjoying life. Like, I never really had money, so having that money at the time was fucking everything. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm able to like buy my sister's food if they wanted, help my mom pay for some bills or whatever I wanted. And then obviously I'm a 17, 18-year-old guy in fucking Philadelphia, so I'm able to like take girls out and do whatever. And it was like that flashy lifestyle was enticing as well. But I failed.
This was the wake up moment when this happened.
Yep, once he got locked up, it became a little bit more real for me. I mean, it was a little bit real already because of like situations I already been in, being shot at, getting robbed, chasing down people, whatever. But it became more real because it was my family. It might as well have been me. And I could have very well been locked up with him had I stayed in the house a few more hours and someone didn't try to kill my family.
Yeah.
So it was crazy how that aligned. But it was a wake-up call. I went back to school, I got my diploma, joined the Army, left. It wasn't that I was incapable of doing the work or I was unintelligent or whatever the case was. It was that I just didn't give a fuck about going to school because I was making money, and it's like, why the fuck am I doing this to go make money anyway when I can just do this?
So how are you getting
Smarter.
how are you getting smarter?
I don't even fucking know, to be honest. I was just listening to like my leadership in the military.
What's that like? I heard you mention that earlier. What does that mean for like someone like me? Like
My leadership in the military. So
What is that?
in a regular infantry unit, there's 3 fire team or fire squads and then 1 gun squad or weapon squad. So within that, you have your squad leaders, so it's 4 squad leaders. You have your team leaders, so it's 2 team leaders for every squad. And you have your platoon sergeant, and then goes on.
So it's basically like a mini company.
It's like a mini company, yeah. It's exactly what it is.
The better work you do, you get.
Exactly. So the more work you do, the more, if you go the extra mile, you get ranked up faster. If you go and outwork everybody else. I loved it because it was a dog-eat-dog environment, and which is really similar to the environment I grew up in. So it's like, oh, fuck you guys. When I had drill sergeants yelling in my face telling me, I was like, bro, my mom fucking does way worse than this shit. You gotta try harder. Yeah. So going into that environment already was a little bit easier than most people for me, just because of the way I grew up. Again, my leadership, from my team leaders to my squad leaders. Sometimes you have fucking bad leaders and sometimes you have great leaders, just like anything else. Yeah. But going through it and learning from the good leaders and learning from the bad leaders, what to do, what not to do. Some of the positions I had, I got to work with the leadership a lot more, which then taught me strategic thinking and big picture planning, and then having to utilize tactics to execute for the overall mission. So I use that a lot in what I do now, and that kind of helped me develop and cultivate.
Do you push that perspective like in your social media and stuff like
100%.
that?
Leadership's a big part of my social media. No sugarcoating. I'm not sitting here trying to rub your back and fucking, hey, get back in there. No, fuck you, stop bitching, get up, get back in there.
See that, get that, guys. Nobody cares, work harder.
Right, exactly. So it's a different environment. I learned through pain. So I try to teach through pain as well, because pain's the best teacher.
Yeah, we're trying to do more like aggressive, like motivation, inspiration.
Yeah.
Fluffy stuff.
The fluffy stuff is such bullshit. Like, motivation to me is fucking dead. And it's dead because it works temporarily, and then what? The discipline of like, all right, fuck, I feel like shit, but fuck you, I'm gonna do this shit anyway. Every fucking day, people are like, how do you stay motivated? I don't. I wake up every morning like, what the fuck? All right, let's do this. And I get up and do it because I'm disciplined. I instilled that discipline within myself. The military instilled that discipline. The streets instilled that discipline. And then understanding what I want to accomplish, and then actually fucking going out and doing it, because I was doing it for someone else, for their mission. I get much more of a reward when I do it for myself and my mission. A lot of people tell me, oh, the market's saturated, why are you still doing this? It's not feasible, how can you do this? Doing generic bullshit is saturated. Doing like unvaluable bullshit is saturated. But when you actually add value, when you add perspective, when you add that real rawness, that authenticity, people love that shit. Transparency, there's power in vulnerability, I tell people all the time. So when you add that factor in, no one's in that lane. No one's playing in that lane. Everyone's playing on the bullshit lane. Everyone wants to be like, oh, I'm this fucking entrepreneur and I do this and I do that. Here's this motivational quote, work harder, whatever. And And I'm like, okay, fuck you, what goes into that mindset when I'm thinking about working? Before I even get to the work harder part, what am I going through? And I know that in very different perspectives. I know that from being in the ghetto and making my way through the streets. I also know that in the military and making my way on that side. I also know that on the other end, where it's, okay, well now I'm financially set a little bit, and I know the struggles that come with that and building a business as an entrepreneur. So I can resonate at each person's core, and I just distribute that content. And that's worked the best. No one's in that area.
You know what's interesting one? So we actually posted this yesterday. That was our caption. I'm very curious for your answer.
Good.
Option A or option B?
Okay.
Right now. Option A, $10,000 in the bank, 500,000 followers. Option B, 500,000 in the bank, 10,000 followers.
So with me, because of my knowledge and my experience, I'll take the 500,000 followers because I'll flip that shit to $1 million. Right? Because what is it? The 500,000 followers, I'm assuming, is going to be an engaged audience within a niche or whatever, because that's how I would curate it.
That's what we said. We can't
I wanted to put.
We have to ask someone who's.
I wanted to put in the caption "engaged" because it's so because I was like, that was the first question: is it engaged or not? And people just don't understand how much you can leverage.
At all.
How much you can leverage off that.
Every big client I have, Rolls-Royce, NBC Universal, Lionsgate, Penske, every fucking major client I have has come from my Instagram and me leveraging it. I made $2-3 million off Instagram alone, and I've been able to do that leveraging just Instagram, just the platform and everything I've done on there. I've sold accounts for 6 figures each, for 300 grand, a couple 80 grand, 40 grand. So, and I was able to do that leveraging the account. So $10,000 is not shit. I can make 40 grand in a month off of a $500,000 page, just utilizing it to manage other pages and or just selling ad space on it.
And you own the asset too.
And I own the asset. Yep.
I think what people sorely misunderstand is the ability, how much you can leverage just that. Like you can literally, like we can go on trips. You could go on free trips, free hotel, free airfare, just with the following and leverage that against posts.
But I think even beyond that, I think I can get to the CEO of that fucking person sponsoring the trip. Fuck the trip. I don't give a fuck about the $500 trip or $2,000 trip. I give a fuck about the CEO because there's so much more potential with his entire company, because traditional businesses aren't utilizing social media the way they should be. They're utilizing it based off of like bullshit they read online from people who don't even know what the fuck they're doing. There's a lot of people online like, oh yeah, you can do this on social media and here's hashtag hacks and here's this and here's that. It's all fucking bullshit. It's not sustainable long term. I focus on long term sustainability. In order to do that, it's all about great content, right? Because great content trumps everything. So if you focus there and sharpen up those skills there, you can do whatever the fuck you want. These Sheridans, whatever, fucking Hilton hotels, Marriott, whatever, they're using influencers and a bunch of other fun shit. They're buying people trips and everything. But the people aren't thinking, okay, well, how can I take this a step further? Fuck the trip. I would say, okay, great, you want me because I have attention. Right at its core, you want me because I have attention. You want that attention to convert for you. Well, why don't I just help you build up that fucking attention so you don't have to spend millions on all these other people to go do this? I do.
You want them to own the attention.
Right.
That's the value.
Exactly.
To grow that.
It's hey, let me just run your pages and get you the same amount of attention, and I'll just be the face of your page, or get the right people to collaborate with us to be the face of this page, and then manage the page, and then get you all the attention so you don't have to spend all this extra money. You can just spend all that ad money from those influencers on me and my company. And then I'll just leverage myself to get those fucking influencers in the door, which you guys have been doing pretty well. You guys are leveraging Iconic, your art and everything else to get the right influencers in the door, to get the right meetings. And it's fucking smart. I'm sure you guys don't have to spend nearly as much money as people might think, or people might actually spend to get the same people. I spend zero on marketing my entire 4-year run.
Bartered and leveraged.
Yep.
They call me Barter Simpson.
I love it. Yeah.
Didn't pay for the jeans. I paid for the socks. Didn't pay for the shoes. Didn't pay for the hoodie.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for
None of my companies I've ever used marketing. I've never used $0, zero ad spend on any of my shit. And I've been able to get Fortune 500 companies pretty fairly easily.
It's funny that you say that because it's so, everything that he's saying is kind of like, you're just saying it in different words than what we say, because we say the 3 most important things always. It's 3 things. First is content, obviously. And you can win on no paid traffic just with good content. It's going to take a long time, you got to be patient, but you can scale. Content's the most important. Second thing is traffic. You said attention, same exact shit. The bigger the following, the more the attention you have. And the third thing, which we definitely should have a conversation about that I think we can help your business, is conversion. The most important thing is conversion. And our company is really focused on different tactics to help convert, whether that be on page on the website, doing split testing with different copy, links in bio, etc., all that shit. I think no one focuses on the third thing. Almost nobody does. I mean, fuck, people aren't focusing on the first thing, let alone the second, but the third thing, they really, really aren't focusing on.
Yeah. So I focus there a lot.
Yeah.
And the way I focus there, my entire business is set up on conversion. Yeah. But it's building a community, which then causes conversion. Right? Why do people take action? Because of emotion. So once I build a community and you're loyal, you're supportive, you're backing everything I do, then like I said earlier, I built a community of 4,000 people on a chat app. And because of that strong community sense, I'm able to use that community, 4,000 people strong, to buy whatever the fuck it is. If I'm buying a $20 book, 4,000 people bought that $20 book. So I only focus on community first, building that loyalty, building that emotional bond between us, and that has caused me to convert. I don't front load.
Explain to people, how do you build a community? So I think you have a really, obviously a great pulse on it. Like, I think that's one of the hardest things to do. I mean, even if you have a company, it doesn't mean you have a community.
Yep.
So for everyone out there, talk to everyone about how you build a community, a loyal community.
It's understanding who your community is at first, and then understanding humans, right? Because at our core, we all want the same shit. We're all playing the same game. It's just everyone takes different paths, and each path has its own struggle, each path has its own successes, whatever. But every struggle and every success leads to the same core. Is this something that I care about? Is this something I love, right? Because we do everything for love, so you can start there. That's why love pages, relationship pages, all that shit does fucking great. And you're like, why the fuck does this fucking YouTuber with his wife and kid does fucking 20 million views, and I'm sitting here trying to motivate the fuck out of everybody and I only do like 1 million? It's because every single person, no matter who you are, you care about love, whether it's self-love or love for others, which all comes back down to self-love, right? Because you do things for other people to make them happy because it makes you happy to make them happy. So it all comes back down there. So understanding that and understanding how to, I don't want to say manipulate because that's such a bad fucking word, but understanding how to leverage and utilize that in a way that, one, you add value to them because you help them with whatever it is they're going through that has to do with that one core thing, which is love. But it's love for different things. It's love for self, love for material, love for others, love for whatever, and playing to those emotions. So if I'm building up a community, let's say around art, why do people give a fuck about art? Creativity, people love the inspiration, people want to be motivated, people want to be inspired by whatever. That goes back to love. So it's, okay, well, how can I utilize that and speak that through my artwork? Well, you guys do it every fucking day, right? Early mornings, late nights. Well, I'm up early because I want to take care of my family and be able to provide for them. That's why I'm up early and I'm going to sleep late. Well, what's your why to do that? What's your why to work harder and grind or whatever? That goes back to love. So I'm going to cultivate this whole community around that type of love. And what type of love is that? That's love for others. Well, okay, keep going, work hard. I mean, everything you guys fucking talk about every day on your artwork is pretty much what people want to hear, what people want to know. In order to do what they love to do, which is provide for family or provide for self.
So content is king, authenticity is key. Give me one more key that has helped grow your business.
Grow my accounts or grow my business, two different things.
Business.
My business. Organization and understanding how to lead people. Leadership's fucking everything, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. I instill that in my accounts, my day-to-day life. There's 2 good books out right now by Jocko Willink. He was Jocko Willink, I'm probably fucking up his name, my bad. One is extreme ownership, and ownership's a huge part of being a good leader. Being able to say, I fucked this up. And here's one thing I learned in the military, and he also learned this in the military. He was a badass Navy SEAL, you can probably read up on him after this. But one thing I learned in the military was, in order to be a good leader, you have to understand that whatever your fucking company does, or whatever your team or company or whoever it is,
it's your fault.
Yeah, whether they fucking succeed or whether they fail, it's your fault. So if they succeed, great, that's your fault, but make sure you appreciate them, make sure you congratulate them, make sure they understand that this win was all of us, it wasn't just me. But if you fail, that's just fucking you. And it doesn't have nothing to do with them because their job is to follow your lead. And leading doesn't always mean fucking leading. Leading means following sometimes. Like Sal, he's a director. When he directs, I don't fucking say shit. I might comment here and there. I might say, hey, this is my intent. This is what I want. This is my vision for it. But he'll lead and he'll say, hey, position yourself here, do this because the lighting or whatever. And I follow his lead 100%. and I have to trust him to do that. He has to trust me to follow my lead in business and everything else to make sure we grow as a company.
Where do you want to be? A year, 5 years? Like, what's the vision?
The biggest fucking media agency in the world.
Yeah?
Yeah. All digital. I don't want to deal with fucking, because it's scalable. I don't want to deal with like billboard radio. I want to be where the future is.
Yep.
And then after that, doing whatever the fuck I want. I mean, let's be real, that's why you do all this shit. Because you want like that freedom to do what you want. My next big step after building this business as big as I can is doing a nonprofit sex trafficking rescue mission organization where we just go and fucking do raids overseas or here, wherever the fuck people are running sex trafficking shit and just fucking rescue people all day. Because I hate the victim mentality.
Yeah.
I hate the, oh, fucking life sucks, I'm a victim and I can't fucking do anything to fix my situation, when 95% of people create their own problems in their life and they don't fucking take action to fix their situation. It's on them. But when you look at a sex traffic victim, a 4-year-old fucking little girl can't defend herself against a 6'5" guy, 300 pounds, versus fucking 6 of them throwing her into a fucking minivan and then taking her and no one knowing where the fuck they're at. Our government doesn't do enough to go rescue those people. I mean, it's like, oh, it's out of our jurisdiction, or we don't have the resources to do that, which is all bullshit, whatever. Somebody's gotta do it. And I think that's an actual victim. And I'd rather go rescue that fucking person than sit here and spend resources and whatever on like some of the homeless or something like that.
Dude, how you preface that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone makes their own problems and they can fix it. That person is literally
a victim.
Yeah. Shit.
And it happens every day at a fucking crazy rate and people don't speak about it. Half of the homeless made decisions. You can pinpoint a decision in their life where they're like, I'm gonna do drugs, I'm gonna do this, and yeah, your life sucked or whatever, you might have went through some shit, but you could have probably fucking fixed it along the way, unless you're like mentally or physically like incapable of doing so for whatever reason, and then that's a different situation. I understand that. But if you fucking cause that situation because you couldn't fucking handle your shit, that's your fucking fault. And I have no sympathy for that. But a fucking little girl who just got abducted, or even a grown woman who got into like whatever it was or got grabbed, because it happens to women mostly, but it also happens to little boys and men too. And then there's also like fucking organ harvesting and all types of crazy shit. But I want to get into that and just fucking rescue those people, because I understand raids, I understand how to operate on the ground. I want to actually be physically on the ground doing it with my company or with my nonprofit or whatever, and leading them into that, or being led into that with other fucking stellar leaders or whatever. I'm gonna hire like ex-military. It's gonna be a bunch of shit. But it's not just rescuing them, it's going through the whole process. It's building up a hospital so they can get help. They don't pay for anything. They get the medical attention, they get the therapy they need for them, their families. They get transition back into the real world, so they go through schooling with other people like them, so they don't have to like deal with like that communication barrier between other people and not being able to relate to people, not getting the help they need. It's gonna be probably ran by people who have also experienced something similar. I mean, there's a whole fucking thing I got for that. And then it's like getting into the technology of like having bracelets on people, because corruption within a business like that is fucking crazy. So having like GPS locks on people until they leave or whatever, but it's gonna be this whole thing.
What's the biggest failure that you guys have had that made you reconstruct your vision?
Being financially fucking stupid was my biggest failure, which I think I've resolved. That's my answer. Checking. Huh?
Mine would definitely be not going all in on what I loved earlier.
I think something that's sorely underrated in the millennial culture is how important experience is.
I fucked up where I realized like, okay, I'm making all this fucking money. I blew $1 million and was like, where the fuck did that money go? And I had no idea where it went. I was helping a lot of people, I was buying a lot of shit, I was spending on stupid ass shit, but I had nothing to show for it at the end. So I was like, what the fuck just happened? I just made my $1 million and I don't even have it. I have no idea where the fuck it went. The whole time I wasn't thinking about fucking taxes. The entire time. I had no idea like how to play with numbers, what taxes was or whatever, incorporating a business, understanding the differences between different types of protection with taxes and insurance and whatever else through LLCs, S Corps, C Corps, whatever. And then also preparing for my K-1 and fucking understanding 1099s and fucking W-2s. No one taught me that. I didn't even know it was a fucking thing. I didn't even know I could get in trouble. I was just like, I'm making fucking money and that's it. And then I started learning about it a little bit more, and I was just super fucked up. not organized. I had no receipts. I had no nothing. I had like 50 bank accounts, 20 PayPal accounts, transferring money through fucking everything because I was just hustling, trying to make money in any way possible. It's easy to gain success. It's easy to gain fucking $1 million. It's hard to maintain that shit and then make it grow and work for you. A lot of entrepreneurs are in fucking debt and you motherfuckers don't want to tell people this shit and you set motherfuckers up for failure and it's fucked up. But I'm gonna tell you, I was in fucking debt. I'm still, even though I consider myself pretty successful a little bit in my area, I'm still dealing with finances now. I'm still pretty early in the game. I'm still like startup mode, whatever, but I'm still fucked up financially because I wasn't smart financially. My credit was fucked up. My credit's still like, I'm still working on building it up. I'm still working on fucking making the revenue marks that I want to make and my goals, but finance is fucking everything. And it's fucked up if you don't stay on top of it. You're gonna fuck up your own life. You're gonna fuck up your employees' life. Not being able to pay your employees on time is fucked up. And the last thing you wanna do is fuck up like other people's lives because people depend on you when you're a CEO, when you're a business owner, when you're an entrepreneur. You have other lives. Like I got an entire team who has to feed themselves and their family, and they depend on me to be able to make sure I hold my word and I'm able to pay them on time and I'm gonna pay them adequately so that they can continue pushing forward. And if you're fucked up financially, you're not gonna be able to hold a team, hold a business, hold your own life. It's just gonna be fucked. So you fucking entrepreneurs out there that are not telling people the real shit and what's really going on behind the doors, all the fuck ups and failures you guys have are just fucking people up. And even though you think you're helping them by giving them the fucking pat on their back, you really need to be fucking telling them about the bullshit they gotta deal with as entrepreneurs and all the fuckery that goes into it. And I think that's why I'm starting to do my personal brand and everything else. There's a lot of fucked up shit going on. And I'm not fucking perfect, and I'll be the first one to tell you that. And I'm sure we fuck up a fuck ton of the times. And it's a crazy ride, but you can get through it with the right information.